Hello there. Hey, I get asked quite often during vacation season, it's spring break, at Christmas time, and most of all when someone wrecks their car and they're in a rental car. I have people asking me, is that rental car covered or do I need to buy the rental car insurance? Because when you go to the desk and you sign everything to rent that car, one of the questions they ask you is, do you want our insurance? So here's in a nutshell how it works. You don't have to buy their insurance if you don't want to, because that rental car is covered on your policy with Farmers exactly the way your own car is covered while you're driving it. So if you have a $500 deductible and $100,000, $300,000 liability limits, that is exactly what you would have on the rental car. The times that you might want to think about having the rental car insurance that they sell you there at the desk would be if you only have property liability and property damage on your vehicle. So let's say that you're driving an old, 2001 Jeep Wrangler and you've had it paid off for 10 years or 15 years and you don't have coverage on that because if it gets smashed, you're just going to either fix it yourself or you're just going to let it be totaled. That means that you don't have comp and collision on that car. You're saving a lot of money on your insurance, but you don't have comp and collision. Well, when you go to the rental car company, they're going to give you a brand new car to drive. None of their cars are very old. And of course, you want to have comp and collision on that car. If it hails when you've got it, you want to make sure it's covered. If someone drops a tree on it because you parked in the wrong place in a city where you're not familiar, you want to make sure it's covered. If someone hits you on an interstate, or if you have an accident in the ice or snow on the interstate, you want to make sure that that rental car is covered. So if you do not have comp and collision coverage, or you want to say damage to your car coverage on your Farmers Auto policy, then you want to make sure that you buy the rental car coverage. If you do have comp and collision with us, then there would be no need to buy that. Now, here's one thing that's not covered. I'm not saying that it's worth buying the rental car insurance just to cover this, but I want you to understand what they could charge you. So your car is not rented out to anyone else. So if you stay home for an entire week or for months and months on end, like we did during COVID, and your car never gets driven, you didn't rent it to anyone else. It just sat in the garage and it didn't make any money. It didn't cost you anything, but it didn't make money. It wasn't an income producing car. The car that you're renting from the rental car company is an income producing vehicle. They are making money when that car is on the road at $25 a day or $50 a day or more. So if you hurt their car and it needs to be repaired and it goes into the shop for 2 or 3 days, those 2 or 3 days, they're not making any money. So they're going to want that money from somewhere. Some of them don't, but some rental car companies would bill you $25 or $50 a day for the days that that car is out of service. That would not be covered on your regular auto policy because you don't rent your car. It's not an available coverage that we have on your policy. So worst comes to worst, if you would total a rental car and they charge you for every day that it's in the insurance, it moves over to total loss. It takes 2 weeks for them to get a new one. That could be 2 weeks at $50 a day. So I would advise you to look over their rental car insurance and see how expensive it is. Does it make sense for only that coverage to buy that policy? If you think it does, then go ahead. We don't care if you buy that policy. That's great. If you don't want to spend the money, you don't need to. If you have comp and collision on your policy here, then everything would be covered for damage on that car. Hopefully this answers your question. And if you have more questions, just give us a call. Thank you.